talking to me at a rate of about 2 or 3 times a week for many, many months. You cannot attribute that many coincidences to coincidence. So I was pretty objective. I'm like, well, this seems like a coincidence, and I'm trying to, but like, you start getting to 2 or 3 a week, and you're like, I don't think this is, okay, I'm getting them now, like 5 or 6 times a day. I'll give you an example. People are like, well, what do you mean by a coincidence? So much information comes at me, you can imagine. Literally, I'm in touch with scientists across the world, we're in touch with the legal team, we're in touch with some politicians, other doctors. So much information comes to me. So I heard of Dr. Varela and Senator Bob Hall's testimony, and I had not yet had a chance to watch it, and I was eventually going to get around to watching it. It was on my list of things to do, and I actually would have done it, because I knew it was important. God stepped in, had somebody clip it for a minute and a half, sent it to me last night. They go, you gotta watch this. I'm like, oh, it's a minute and a half, I can watch it. So they sent me the minute and a half that I'm putting in the papers. It was perfect. How can that not be God, with all due respect? God is Somebody could have sent it to me like for 3 days, which is a little too late for the papers. They could have sent me like the wrong minute and a half. They could have sent me something else useful and interesting, but not like perfect. And by the way, something very similar happened the day before. There was a person I intended to connect with who's very brilliant in a very small little subsection area that's like super specialized. And it was on my list of things to do. But I hadn't done it because, I'm doing a lot of things, including going around the country to educate everybody. And lo and behold, he was speaking at the church before me and introduced himself like, you're so-and-so, you're kidding, I need to talk with you. Okay, well that was God. Like, there is just no way this is happening to me on a daily basis. So thank you. And I share that with you because this is a difficult path. Like, we know it's the truth, but it's a difficult path. And when you get encouragement like that, which I'm getting, I want to share it with you. This is, I know that I'm on the right path, but to like really know it is very helpful. Take that knowledge in your own lives, take it forward. These things are happening to me, so I tell you. The second way AmericasFrontlineDoctors.org wants to help you and empower you is we started something called the Citizen Corps, which is like the Peace Corps, right? Just got an S at the end. Citizen Corps at AFLDS.org. Citizen Corps is your way to meet like-minded patriots in your neighborhood. It is whatever you make of it, but you need to fight back. And how do you fight back at the school boards and city council? You're like, I've never spoken up publicly, like I'm scared. You know what? You got 10 friends from the Citizen Corps, okay? So sign up for the Citizen Corps. It's not us telling you anything, it's us enabling you to be effective in your own life with the battles of local tyranny that are happening in your neighborhood. Awesome. Yes. At the end of the day, I'm really just a populist. I'm one of you. We're all the same. I'm responding to what people need. In the beginning, people needed to get their hands on this medicine. So we made a way that you could buy it on the website. You sign up for telemedicine visits. Before that, you should know, I tried really hard to make it over the counter because I knew the doctors and the pharmacists were the problem. But we couldn't succeed, so now you can at least buy it through a doctor's system on the website. But after a few months, the question I was being asked the most is, what can I do? And I recognize that what you can do is limited unless you feel empowered. That's the Citizen Corps. So really, it's a gift for you, but in exchange, you need to step up. The third thing that America's Frontline Doctors has for you is hard news. We know it's really hard to get the facts, right? For those of you who are interested in the facts, we did start a news division. It's only obviously about COVID. That's not our main priority. But if you want some interesting COVID news, it's there. It's really quite good. It's exceptional. It's investigative journalism. There it is. I wanted to make sure you knew about it. We have other things on the website too. We have the Vaccine Bill of Rights. I'd like Senator Hall to see it. I don't even know if he knows about it. But the Vaccine Bill of Rights is written exactly like a bill is written that you submit to Congress or a House. And we want everybody to send it to their local and national representatives. We want a Vaccine Bill of Rights. It's there. And Children's Vaccine Bill of Rights. We have a petition on our site, Stop Medical Discrimination. You don't want to be discriminated against. You won't know that here in Texas, that the bill that you're trying to get through. But we want that number to be over 1 million. We want 1 million people, because when I talk to people in public and I say, I've got 1 million people who are saying, no discrimination based on my health or medical past. What are you talking about? It sounds good. We're at about 750,000. Let's Texas get it over 1 million. Please sign it. Don't just sign it, share it. And last, and I'm wrapping up. We need and encourage you to join us. The civil rights battle of our time is the medical apartheid that is nipping at our heels. And I submit to you, it's just as ugly as racial apartheid. You are dividing humanity. Last week, I saw a sign in a church on a video that separated the vaccinated from the unvaccinated. I couldn't believe it. It was just like, blacks over here for drinking water and whites over here. What difference is this? This is separating humanity based on distinctions that have nothing to do with if you should talk to your neighbor. I'm offended by this. If you don't recognize the threat that's coming to us from this medical apartheid, you're not awake. So I call on every single person who hears this, and by the way, I urge you to share this with all social media. Nothing I say should be censored. Everything has been vetted and vetted and vetted again. I call on every single person who hears this speech, online or here today, to rise up. Rise up in the name of freedom. Rise up in righteousness, rise up in anger, rise up in humor, but rise up. Father, you never have to rise up. You've risen up. I'm here because I understand you never closed. I speak of churches where the clergy understands that there's one God to whom they answer. God is not the governor. God is not the mayor. God is not the city council. I believe, however, Father, you're the only person I've spoken with who actually didn't close at all. There were people I speak at that have closed for a few weeks, which I understand, but I want to give you so much credit and blessings for you personally that you've led the people in such an honorable way. What has happened in churches over the years, over this past year. You either believe that God is prominent, which apparently many do, or you believe God is preeminent, which very few apparently believe. God is preeminent. There isn't a choice. Your church stays open. A little personal statement, which I don't always say, but I do think it's relevant. I go around the country, mostly, I speak at various places, but since the very beginning, I would say since July or August, I made a commitment to myself that I would try very hard to speak to any church. I knew instinctively that believing Christians are the last remaining force on the planet that can stop the evil of undoing human freedom. Yes. I'm certain of this. And I tell you this as a Jew. I'm Jewish. I have no doubt that it's the believing Christians who must carry this message. My Jewish brethren have been shameful on an order of magnitude that I will not be able to ever comprehend. Not only in America have they done wrong, Israel, for those of you who know, is leading the charge on forced vaccinations and on segregating people. 2 generations after my father, a Holocaust survivor, left Eastern Europe. This is why I speak out. 2 generations after the Nuremberg trial, Israel is separating its people. Please, I urge everyone who hears this, who believes in God, Christians, you must rise up. You're all that the country and the world has left. And Texans especially